The curse of Ramboo is a tricky one. I mean, he's somehow managed to get 4th or 3rd 6 times out of the 8 events he's been in. A record that's on par with the captains. Somehow never make it into Dodgeball despite his brilliance. So in this video, I'm going to fix that by analysing what's gone wrong for Ramboo, along with creating his perfect MCC team that he could play with in the future. So without further ado, this is how Ramboo could win MCC. But before we begin, let me know your perfect team for Ramboo in the comments section below. And whilst you're down there, remember to subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you did. And it's just a button, so please do it. But enough rambling. Let's get on with the video. Since joining in MCC 15, Ramboo has proven again and again and again just how brilliant he is. I mean, he seemingly has no weakness, performing well in PvP, teamwork, movement and building games, with him even getting a top 5 in MCC 19, which included beating Dream, who was on his team for this event. So where do the problems lie? Well, Ramboo sits in the top 25 for almost every game he's been in, from Battlebox to Build Mart and Hole in the Wall. But the key word there was almost, because there's some very sizable holes in his armour, such as Parkour Tag, where he averages at 52nd, Grid Runners, where he places 30th, and of course Survival Games, where he places in 69th. But you may think none of these have anything in common. And you'd be right. Parkour Tag is a movement game, Grid Runners is teamwork based, and Survival Games is PvP. But there's an element to all of these games which I think is the key to Ramboo's success. And that's because all 3 of these are stressful. Parkour Tag, you're either having to hunt on your own or you're getting chased by someone, which either way is extremely stressful. In Grid Runners, you're constantly getting new tasks thrown at you to complete, which can often be straight up confusing, never mind being stress inducing. And finally, we come to Survival Games, which is the worst of the worst. Because on multiple occasions now, Survival Games has been the final game before Dodgeball, and has caused Ramboo so much heartbreak. So I guess the simplest fix is just to get Ramboo to remain calm during the whole event. But as an anxious person, I know that's a lot easier said than done. So instead, I'm going to create teams that aren't only competitive, but are made with calmness in mind. Some clear heads to lead Ramboo to his first victory. Now I'm going to be making 3 teams that could compete for the win whilst not being too OP that they break the game completely. However, I also wanted to add another rule in the form of a player to partner Ramboo with in all of these teams, who is of course Wilbur Soot. They've played together in 6 of the 8 events Ramboo's been in and have fantastic chemistry, with Wilbur desperately wanting to get Ramboo his first victory. So I had to include him in all of them. It was always meant to be. But with this in mind, our first team is a Dream SMP special, as we start with the one and only Dream himself. Of course, when talking of great leaders, Dream is one that comes to a lot of people's minds. And we've also seen him bring out the best in Ramboo in a previous event where he got top 5. So I 100% think Dream would be perfect for this team. He's great chemistry with our main man himself as well as Wilbur, and he can definitely give them 100% to not only get Ramboo's first victory, but also his own 5th, and that special 5-win coin. But whilst he's a great leader, I don't think he's the calmest. So for that, we need another player, and I think Erit is perfect for this. Whilst not being a top player, she's been to a fair share of dodgebolts, and her positivity and ability to be calm in the most stressful situations would be perfect for this team. Also because this would make the amazing Dream SMP team for an incredible tournament. But let's head on to the next team where I may have took leadership to the max. Because to start off with, we have H-Bomb as our first leader. A brilliant player and even better teammate. He's always encouraging and bringing up his teammates, which is exactly what Ramboo and Wilbur need. Especially in the high pressure games, such as last game survival games, which is a lot of games to say. And to go along with that, I brought along another great leader in 5UP, who throughout the whole of Season 2 is showing just how good he can be, making his last 2 dodge bolts in a row, which included a win with H-Bomb himself in the first. Together they can use smart plays as well as calm heads to lead our 2 heroes to victory. And with that, we have our last team for your consideration, which, if I'm going to be honest, is definitely the best one. Because to begin with, we have Tubbo, because I had to team Ramboo and Tubbo together. It was just too tempting. But then I thought, if we have Tubbo, why not bring along Tapel for the ride as well, to bring back the pink Parrots from MCC 15 once again. Now this team came third in their event, because of course they did. But I feel now that they would have the power and know-how to not only get first, but also to win Dodgeball and secure victory. Because they're so much better now than they were. It was Ramboo's very first event, so whilst he got an amazing 14th place, he's now got the experience and skill to turn that into a top 10 finish and beyond. And along with that, his teammates have all got better too, with Tapel playing more consistently, Tubbo having his very own win, and Wilbur, well, Wilbur is Wilbur. But together they will have that determination to get that first victory for our beloved Ramboo. And with that, we have our teams. As I said before, I'd love to know your dream Ramboo team in the comments section below. And whilst you're down there, don't forget to subscribe too. All the data used in this video is from the wonderful Ultra Sheep Lord and their team. So a huge shout out to them, and you can find their link in the description. But there's only one thing left to say now, which is to thank you for watching, and of course, peace.